Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here with your all stuff, no fluff news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation with Eden, and Eden seems to be making some nice progress. So taking a look over on their Discord, and they say here, well, thanks to Forest Mark X, we finally have an initial workaround or hack for MP4 Black Shadows. MP4 stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Metroid Prime 4, depending on how you wanted to interpret that. They say it's still a work in progress, and they're still investigating the reason for such a glitch. But it does look like things are progressing there. At the time of filming, the latest release of Eden is version 0.0.4, which released about 3 weeks ago. And speaking about emulation updates, next up here we're talking about NGPGBA, which is a Neo Geo Pocket color emulator on the Game Boy Advance. It's a super niche one, but I think something very interesting. Anyways, NGPGBA just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, version 0.5.8 is the latest and greatest update. There's some fixes, some optimizations, and some brand new stuff. So for example, they fixed saving of settings and added scrolling to menus. And continuing to talk about Neo Geo Pocket color emulation on older handhelds. Next up, we're going up one generation from the GBA to the DS, and I guess 3DS as well, and DSi. With NGPDS and version 0.5.8 is also the latest and greatest update for this one. So with this update, I would say it's similar to the GBA one. We've got some optimization fixes and brand new stuff. For example, they tweaked NDS to NGP battery mapping. And speaking about handheld gaming, next up here, we're talking about a brand new controller from GameSir. We've talked about this one a couple of times on the channel, but now the Kickstarter is live for the GameSir Pocket Taco. And this thing, I would say, is priced very attractively, about $30 US. Now, it is worth noting here, there are two different colorways, the Game Boy or off-white colorway as they're calling it, and the Atomic Purple colorway. So it depends on what you're kind of going for here if you are interested in the product. I think both look really good, but I do think that Game Boy colorway looks a little, or off-white colorway looks a little bit better. For controls here, they're saying the D-pad and ABXY buttons are membrane, so I'm guessing they're not going to be that clicky and loud, but the triggers and bumpers, so L1, R1, L2, and R2 are tactile, so they will click. Looking at this thing, I think a lot of people will be excited about this for Game Boy emulation, for games that you play in portrait mode, and I think just in general for a portable controller for a smartphone, this may tick a lot of boxes for people. The battery in this one's 600 milliamp hours. It is Bluetooth, and there is a pass-through for a USB-C cable so you can charge your phone on the go without the controller getting in the way. I like the looks of this. I do think it's going to be popular. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. And fun fact here, if you ever see the title GameSir Pocket 1 floating around, that was the original name of this thing before they changed it to the Pocket Taco. Now, to be honest with you, the only thing I'm kind of concerned about is if the Pocket Taco will work on a phone with the case and if that case will interfere with it. The video here shows it working with the case, but that case is fluffy and squishy, and I don't think a lot of people's are. I mean, my phone case, for example, here, the edges are raised above the glass to protect the glass. And I'm guessing that might interfere with how that Pocket Taco grips the phone overall. But moving on from that, and next up here, we're talking about Simple Launcher, which is a powerful and flexible open source front end for emulators, and Simple Launcher just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, version 4.9.0 is the latest and greatest update. And they're saying here, retro achievements enhancements, emulator auto configuration, streamlined setup process with automatic configuration for RetroArch, UI localization, comprehensive localization support across all Retro Achievements interfaces, and messaging, enhanced error and success feedback for better user experience. On top of that, from Microsoft Store game scanning, they say there's a new interface for confirming detected games. There's better localization and UI improvements, better performance, and even more. Next up here, we're talking about Resident Evil, and if you're a fan of Resident Evil and looking forward to Requiem, you might be excited about this Thursday. So they've just announced here that Thursday, January 15th at 2 p.m. PT, there's going to be some exclusive footage and details about Resident Evil Requiem. Next up here, we're switching from video to written stuff and talking about an interesting article about GOG. Games Industry Biz has a brand new article here titled "The New Owner of GOG Discusses Taking on Steam, the Devil of DRM, and Following in Night Dive's Footsteps." I would say that the article overall is very informative and very interesting. I think it's a good read, and if you are interested and wanted to check it out, like everything we talk about, links are within the GitHub link in the bottom of the description below. I don't hide my sources. Anyways, here, taking a look, I think one of the biggest points of contention in the entire article is this whole taking on Steam section. So within this section, there's a bit of a shot against Steam that's being talked about quite a bit, and here's the quote. GOG is a very curated platform. This is, I think, one of our strengths. We don't release hundreds of games daily, 95% of which are really not super high quality. And that's generating a bit of buzz. So because of that quote, I'm seeing articles like this one here pop up. Steam is winning with its ease of use, but not on quality, says GOG owner, pondering how to take the market from Valve. We don't release hundreds of games daily, 95% of which are really not super high quality. And also Reddit posts like this one here, which is echoing the same sentiment. And there's some very interesting takes from a lot of people. Now, I can see where the owner of GOG was headed with that comment, and I can kind of see how it's been taken the way it has, and I really don't think they should have made that comment in the first place. Number one, Steam isn't the one producing these games. They are just hosting these games, and other companies, other developers, other publishers are putting these on the platform. That's not Steam. On top of that here, it's just GOG does need to grow. It needs way more games on there. I mean, they are working on curated lists. They are working on quality, but at the same time, the word quality opens up a massive can of worms. I really just think they flubbed up how they talked about this. So with that aside, I would say overall the article itself is very interesting, but the overall direction of GOG seems to be headed the right way. I'm hoping here that they can maintain what they're trying to do and maintain growth of the platform and obviously just make things better for modern and retro gamers and people who prefer DRM-free stuff. They're not the only place to get DRM-free stuff, but at the same time, they are arguably one of the biggest. I mean, Steam itself does have some DRM-free games, and there's also places like itch.io and Zoom Platform that are continually growing. But either way here, let me know your thoughts about the article in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts about the comments from GOG and the direction that GOG seems to be heading, or the direction they say they're heading. And speaking about stuff moving in a positive direction, next up here, we're talking about Hytale. And Hytale seems to be making some pretty big strides forward. This game is already available to be preloaded. Now, by the time this video goes live, I'm not sure when it's going to go live, but when it does go live, early access might already be active. And anyways, it's being reported over here on Gaming on Linux that Hytale pre-orders have been so strong, development is secured for 2 years. Let me know your thoughts about this one, but it's been wild. I mean, the turnaround here on this game, a game that seemed to be destined to never release, to turn around, be released here in early access, and on top of that, have funding for like 2 years. That is really, really cool to see. And speaking about cool to see and new releases, next up here, we're talking about Palworld. And Palworld is, I would argue, stirring the pot pretty big here because they've just announced a brand new trading card game called Palworld Official Card Game. It is releasing in July 30th, 2026. They go on to say here, this game is a 2-player competitive card game where you can enjoy strategic and tactical battles through deploying various unique pals. Let me know your thoughts about this one. I'm very curious to see how this shapes up, if this is factored into the whole Pokemon versus Palworld lawsuit, if we see some new interesting patents filed by Nintendo. What we see here, I'm really curious to see if Nintendo and Pokemon just let this one slide. Really don't know here overall. I mean, a trading card game like this wouldn't really be up my alley. I mean, I find it interesting, but I don't normally play Pokemon cards. If you do, maybe this is up yours. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But what I do know here is that it is sparking a bit of controversy, and there are some already controversially titled articles like this one here up on Insider Gaming. Palworld facing more Pokemon rip-off allegations with new game. This is really interesting overall. And speaking about controversial, arguably, and Pokemon, next up here we're talking about Pokemon Lego. Now the controversy is the pricing here. I've seen a lot of people commenting on the price, and it's not cheap at all. Let me know if the price is warranted here, but listen to this headline up on Video Games Chronicle. If you wanted to read the full article, you know where the links are. The first LEGO Pokemon sets have been revealed, including a $650 Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur statue. From my understanding, there's still more to come, but there's a LEGO Pokemon Eevee that retails for $60. There's a Pikachu and Pokeball that retails for $200. It's 2,000 pieces. And the Pokemon Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise statue, that's $650, or $649.99 if you wanted to be specific. Now, mind you, if that statue, the $650 statue, is pre-ordered, it does come with a free LEGO Pokemon badge kit, which I think some people would be very interested in. I've seen these being scalped online already for around like $300. Not cheap at all. And on top of that, for 250 LEGO Insider points, this is available here, this Pokemon Center. Now, by 250, I mean 2,500. I meant to say 2,500. I think I just said 250. Anyways here, let me know your thoughts about these sets in the comments below in regards to pricing, in regards to this pre-order bonus here for the $650 set. Do any of these sets interest you? And speaking about Nintendo, next up we're switching from physical to software, unless this is not a game keycard. No, it's a game keycard. We're switching from physical to software. Next up here, we're talking about High on Life 2 on the Switch 2. If you were looking forward to High on Life 2 and wanted to see it on the Switch 2, it is releasing on April 20th. This is now up on Amazon. I don't know if they leaked this earlier. This was intended. But at the same time, High on Life 2 will be releasing on April 20th, at least according to Amazon. And last up here, we're still talking about software, but switching from something about to release to something that just has released. And we're talking about The Witcher Online, The Witcher 3 Online, unofficially. This is a mod for The Witcher 3. It's an online mod and an online multiplayer mod, and has just released. And I think a number of people, it's already looking ridiculous, but it seems like a lot of people are going to like this one. So the mod is called Witcher Online. It's up on Nexus Mods, probably up in a few other places as well. And they say here, play The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt multiplayer with friends, complete quests, and explore the world. And they go on to say, the focus of this mod is to allow you to see other players on their adventure exploring throughout the world. A non-pirated copy of the latest version of the next-gen Steam or GOG version 4.04 Plus is required. Let me know your thoughts about this one. I would argue that this would breathe a whole bunch more life into The Witcher 3 and maybe even bring a brand new audience into The Witcher 3. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.